your name on Twitter is Autistic Boobs, yeah?
Yes, it is.
So you're super open about being autistic. It doesn't bother you at all.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, no bother.
Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Let's talk about it. So, because you seem relatively normal. Relatively speaking. I mean, none of us are really normal.
Right.
I was watching a show called Love on the Spectrum recently. Have you ever seen this show?
Maybe like an episode. I don't remember much of it. Bro,
it's fucked up. It's not as bad as Down with Love, which is like a people with Down syndrome. It's fucking that one's brutal. That one is brutal. And the craziest thing about it is it's like Down with Love. All these people have Down syndrome, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. And this is obviously going to be kind of predatory, but I'll enjoy it because I'm a normal person. And then it's like made in conjunction with the New Zealand Down Syndrome Association, like a national association. I'm like, what? A national association worked with you guys on the show, and it's obviously they play like fat people piano music whenever they're doing weird stuff. It's like playing confusing piano clown music whenever they're like confused, and it will zoom in on their face being all contorted and crazy. They're like, I'm like, what are you doing? This is fucked up.
That's funny.
The Love on the Spectrum one's a little bit more wholesome.
Shrieky?
It's a little bit more wholesome because these people, like, some people are high functioning, some people are a little bit lower functioning, but they're all like, just normal ass people. They look completely normal, right? So it's like completely different from Down with Love. Like there's this one girl, she's adorable. Her name's Kaylin, I think. And I was drunk when I watched it, man. Okay. Book. And I was watching and she's like meeting up with these guys, and she is the cutest girl. And I like get on Instagram and find her ass a DM. I'm like, hey, babe, what's up? Hey. But yeah, she's already famous.
Did you get a response?
No. No, she's already famous. Nice. I missed the boat. I should have messaged her like 3 years ago. Real quick, this is my alt channel, and my main channel is in danger every day of getting banned as a result of talking with these amazing people very candidly. So please do me a favor and subscribe down below. Helps me out a lot. Get the hell on it, doggone it. Yeah. But I didn't know. She's the only one, though. There's this other girl. She's Asian, and she's so up her own ass about animation. She's like an animation teacher, and she'll go on like these blind dates. And guy will be like, hey, my name's Steven. And she's like, hey, I'm whatever her name was, like Rose or some shit. And they're like, what are you into? And she talks with her hands, of course. And she's like, animation. She's like, how do you feel about animation? And he's like, I think it's cool. And if he's not like overtly interested, has a degree in it, goes to Comic-Con every year, she doesn't want anything to do with him. She's like, have you ever been to San Diego Comic-Con? And he's like, no. And she's like, oh.
You don't know what you don't know what a keyframe is. You don't know what an in between is. You don't know what layers are. Shunned.
Like what? And of course she ends up alone because like no one cares about like people like animation, right? But it's not their entire damn personality, and it's all she cares about. Fucking animation, bro. And I'm like, what's wrong with you, girl? And there's this one girl that cares. There's this one guy that cares about swords. His name's James. He's the coolest fucking dude.
Ooh.
He's hilarious.
Is he swinging around?
Yeah, no. Well, I think he might. I don't remember. It's hilarious. It's a great show. It's a lot of fun. Okay. But my questions are, so, I have a few friends that have some form of autism. I have a friend that has Asperger's, and you can't tell. You wouldn't be able to tell. He'll just ask really forward questions every now and then, and you'll be like, "What the fuck?" that's the all he has. It's that thing. He's not afraid to ask a question for some reason. And a few friends with some like just on the spectrum here or there. But for you, like, how does that I've never talked to anybody about this. How does it translate? Like when you're speaking to other people, like do you just like have a trouble like communicating or like making thoughts? How does that work?
So I have a lot of thoughts. I have full formed thoughts in my head and sentences. I'm like, that's okay, funny. I have a train of thought, and I'm like, okay, well, how am I going to convey this thought? Because usually my communication style is like, I have like a thought, and then I say the end of that thought out loud.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's say I'm like, oh, I want to go on a train. I might be thinking, oh, I want to go on a train. The train station is open all day and I want to go on a train. What time can we go to the train? Oh, well, looks like the best time to go on the train is 3 p.m. And then I'm going to get a ticket. And then the last thing I would say is, hey, I'm going to get a ticket for the train. Just kind of like that, blurting out nothing. But like I have like a whole entire thought process already in my head. I'm just not communicating my entire thought process.
So your mind is just going at like a mile a minute, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right. That makes sense. So it doesn't seem to really affect you too much. I think it would probably. I think it's lucky, and no, I shouldn't say that. That sounds weird, but I think it's good because it makes you unique in a way which makes you desirable. I think it's fucking adorable. Like, and that might seem like shitty for like maybe like fetishizing something for me, but like every time I meet like a girl or a guy that has like a touch of autism, they're fun, and when they're women, they're adorable. Because I'm a guy, right?
Yeah.
Say something kind of goofy and off the wall. I'm like, I love this person.
Like, personally, like honestly, I don't think I could live like a normal kind of life. Like I mean I get like hyperfixated on things, and when I did do like fast food jobs and like worked like a 40-hour week, like worked that type of schedule, did the traditional adult thing, I would like the schedule. I mean, I would like the routine-ish, but I wouldn't really like after 6 months to like a year, I'd be super bored. I'm like, okay, I've done everything. I've learned everything that I could do from this job, and I don't feel like there's any like upward mobility that I'm really interested in partaking in. Like that isn't just management, and then I'm not good with dealing with people. Like I'm kind of like when I talk to people, I'm very short. Like I'm just like someone's let's say I'm talking to somebody like customer service. They're like, "Hi, how are you?" I'm like, "I'm good. How are you?" They're like, "I'm good." They're good. And then I'll be like, "Good." And then kind of just like not really proceed with the conversation because it takes like a lot of it takes like a second thought to be like, "Oh, I should probably ask a question here to continue the conversation." And that's something I learned more recently. So
yeah. So do you think you have to think about interactions? Basically, would you say that you have to like think about an interaction before going into it and what you're going to say and how you're going to react to certain things?
So I used to do that a lot more, and then because of that, it was a lot smoother interactions. I guess now I'm just like, okay, I'll just go talk to them, and then I sometimes like stumble and fumble my words. I'm like, oh wait, I should have thought of that. Oops.
Yeah.
I guess I'm like at the stage I'm like, well, if I fumble enough of these interactions enough time, I'll learn from them and I'll get better at them. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, not needing to think about it.
Yeah, and I don't think.
What's up?
Oh, go ahead.
So I also like, the autism does come out in like I have sensory issues when it comes to like a lot of people near me, and it's like bright and it's like loud, and it's like I'm in an unfamiliar situation, and it's like unpredictable. Then I'm like, I start to freak out, like I get a lot of stress. I'm prone to like melting down, and then like also if I'm very confused and I'm like, how do I I'm literally like a Psyduck, like the Pokemon. Like
yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what that entails? Psyduck is the Pokemon.
Yeah. When he gets overloaded, he just explodes.
Yeah, he's overloaded, he just explodes. I'm very much like that. I'm like oh man, the Good Doctor. What's that autistic surgeon? I saw a clip.
Oh yeah.
I saw a clip like the I am a surgeon, and when the doctor is like, "Hey, you broke my trust, but we can rebuild. You're not a surgeon yet. We can rebuild." And then the autistic doctor's like, I am a surgeon. I am a surgeon. I am a surgeon. I am a surgeon. And just like that. And that's very, very much me. Like very hard-headed.
Yeah.
It takes when I'm meltdowny, I'm very hard-headed.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you like that makes a lot of sense. I had a friend that she would hyperfixate on shit forever. Like, and she would like she'd be like, I'm gonna do a thing, right? She'd be like, I'm gonna do this thing, and then she would like sit down to like start sketching something like kind of randomly, and that's all she did for like a day. And she completely disregarded this previous thing. And it was the funniest shit in the world.